Welcome back in. This is a Tuesday 2-minute drill. It's Parker and 6'6" Sipple up here, one row ahead of me.
Yes.
We are talking special teams and Nebraska's really poor play in that department, especially last week, more or less for most of the season. Sean Beckton today talked about, we heard from Sean Beckton and Mike Dawson. Beckton coaches the returners. Dawson's the special teams coordinator. Heard from Brody Belt, who's a sort of staple on the special teams units. One of the things that Sean Beckton said about the punt return unit is they benched Cam Taylor-Britt, and Oliver Martin's hurt. And then Brody Belt was the third guy at punt return, but they've been using Samari Toure, who's only been returning punts for like 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So he said Toure got spooked when the first one went over his head on Saturday, and then he didn't catch the ball consistently from there. So they spent a lot of time today working on that, this week working on that. But even if they get that fixed, or if Oliver Martin's back this week, which is a possibility, that's really only like the beginning of the issues that Nebraska's having on special teams.
Well, and a lot of it's specialist related. So it's a sort of an interesting conversation to me.
Right.
How's the drill work? What are the kids being taught? I have a feeling, based on what I've heard, they're being taught fine. The coaches are being very mindful and diligent, but you have to have execution. Right. I'm not absolving anybody here, but a lot of it just comes down to a place kicker who went wayward for a period.
Yeah.
A punter who didn't execute. And let's face it, a return man who kind of lost it for a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a very tricky discussion, especially when you don't see practice.
Well, it's interesting too because Sean Beckton said, it's you don't know exactly the cure when you watch guys punt the ball 60 yards in practice and then they go out there in the game and you hit a 7-yarder or a 28-yarder. Mm-hmm. Or with like Will Pristup, he had 2 really good punts at Oklahoma. And you put him back out there, and it just goes to hell, basically.
Right.
So it's an interesting conversation, but Sean Beckton said the bottom line is they just got to be better all around. And he was asked about that special teams meeting yesterday in the morning that Scott Frost referenced that was rough, and Brody Belt talked about it too.
Yeah, Brody Belt said it was properly rough. It needed to be rough, and there was a lot of, there was harsh words and all that, but it needed to happen. Parker. They are 129th nationally in net punting. Yeah. They are 120th in kickoff returns. Okay, I could keep going. Their special teams numbers are abysmal.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you look at those numbers and then look at the record, they match up. When you're that bad in special teams, you're probably going to have a hard time.
If you go by estimated points added, which is a sort of deep metric, mm-hmm. Nebraska's at minus 37 for the year in special teams, which is
amazing.
They have 3 1-possession losses, and it's the worst number in the country by 10 points.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So the meeting was properly rough. It's been a little rough for us this week, but we're trying to get it going. It's Tuesday. We're moving to our kickoff on Saturday night. For 6'6" Sipple, I'm Parker. Thanks for watching.